welcome to Three Things at Three. Jacki,
Hi, Allison.
how are you?
Hi,
I almost think it's Wednesday, but it's not. It's Thursday. We have had a great week here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and we would like to welcome you all to Three Things at Three, where thing number one, something to make you smile. Thing number two is something to learn, and thing number three is something to discover. Let's go. Welcome to Three Things at Three today, and we are wrapping up a fun week on holiday picture books where we have shared some of our favorite children's stories around the holidays. And I am so excited for today. It's one of the cutest books ever. I am joined on the set with my best friend, my soul sister, my twin, Jacki.
Hello.
So yes, we are so excited to talk about holiday picture books and kind of wrap up the week.
Yes, so fun.
We still have an extra day, but this is our last Three at Three this week. We started the show off just a little bit by kind of sharing a few snow stories because our picture book today is all about snow and snowmen. And I'm like, does anybody have a good snowman story?
Yeah.
Nobody had a specific snowman, but there's lots of fun snow stories around out there. Do you have a great?
I'm not a big snow fan.
Right.
And being cold.
Right.
That's my biggest thing is I don't like to be cold at all. So
Which is funny because your hands are freezing today.
I'm always cold. I honestly am always cold. I always have my heater. And so our cute little story today is just, I can totally relate. But anyway, I remember as a kid going and playing in the snow, and we used to do snowmobiling.
You were never cold as a kid, but now
right.
It's like your feet are cold, your hands are cold. My biggest snow story is I remember being a little girl and going to get a Christmas tree with my dad, and we had a big white Pontiac, and he locked me in the car. I remember, well, I don't think he locked me right then, but he closed the door and I locked him, and I was gonna drive. And he went to pick the Christmas tree, and I shifted the car in gear, and it started to roll, and my dad ran so fast, he ran out of his boots, then he couldn't get in the car, and I remember him hitting on the side. But yeah, it could have been very dangerous, but I was all proud that I just dove over the back because I knew I was in trouble and the car was rolling. Yeah,
so. I've never actually gone and cut down a Christmas tree before.
You have not?
No.
It's not all it's cracked
up
to be.
That's what I kept wondering, is that something that I really needed to experience? But it's like, no, that's okay. Because then you'd have to go up in the mountains. Then you'd have to have boots. You'd have to have gloves.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You have to haul it. Yes.
Sorry, so. I'm too much of a pansy when it comes to being cold.
Well, you live in the wrong area.
You know what? I do.
You need to winter in Arizona.
I don't ski or any of that. So.
Well, let's talk about our book today.
Okay, it's really cute.
Yeah, it is so cute.
My grandsons absolutely loved it. It was really fun.
Okay, so you tested this out. The book today is called Sneezy the Snowman.
Yes.
You going to tell us about it, Jacki?
Well, first of all, it's so cute because this little snowman is always cold in this story, right?
Right.
And so a magical thing happens. He does get something warm. And then what happens?
He melts.
He melts because he gets warm, and the kids are all worried about it, right? And so then what do they want to do? They want to build him again. So I just keep thinking, you want to build a snowman? I keep thinking of
do you build a snowman?
Yes. Every time I was reading, listening,
you want to sing that.
I want to sing it. Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun. So
so they start donating.
Yes.
They give him a hat.
Right.
And then he starts sneezing or coughing, and so then they give him something warm.
And he keeps melting, and then they keep building him back up.
And they give him a scarf.
Yeah.
My favorite part, I think, comes at the very end when they finally figure it out, and
This is so cute.
they give him a giant ice cream cone. And you love ice cream.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ice cream, but they give him a giant ice cream cone. And at the time, now he has a hat, he has a scarf, he has a coat,
Yes,
and
he's
he
set.
is in seventh heaven. He's
Yeah.
set. But you know, the funny thing is that I worried about, and I just have to show you this one picture, about the poor kid that gives him her
Yeah.
coat, and she's freezing. I
Yeah.
mean, so here's Sneezy the Snowman, shivering and taking her coat, and this poor little girl is freezing without a coat. Look at her,
Yeah,
look at her
so
right
she's-
here.
she's
She's like
giving.
completely shivering without a coat, and he's just like da 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 da.
Yeah.
But you know, I
So
don't
really
think
fun.
that the cold hurts you when you're as small
When
as
you're
when
little.
you are.
No.
as
So
when you
it
are
was
big.
really fun. My grandsons loved the story. So
I can
in
just
fact,
see them giggling.
Yeah. So in fact, I read it a couple times to them.
Oh, no.
So yeah. So once, and then they wanted to have
Hear it again.
So
Aw.
it was
Did
really
you do
fun.
voices?
I love to always do voices when I read stories.
Right.
So I'm a teacher at heart.
Yes.
So yeah.
So you did the voices.
Inflections and yeah, the whole thing.
Oh,
So
well, it was darling. I mean, you know, little play on Snowman, little play on Frosty,
Yeah.
except for in the end, it all works out happy. I always felt really sad at the end of Frosty when he melted, and then you never knew what happened to
That's
him.
right.
But here, Sneezy the Snowman has his big ice cream cone and all of his warm clothes, and it's all happy.
it's
so,
good.
Yes, check out this Sneezy the Snowman by Maureen Wright. Darling book, darling pictures. You can find it at your local bookstores. We always want to encourage you to go to your
Yes.
local stores. I mean, you know, see
It's
if
always
they
fun.
see if you have a local store. If not, you can find it on your big box stores or
yeah,
Amazon.
online.
Yep.
So
All
yeah.
right. So we are so excited about our project today because
Yes.
it's inspired by Sneezy the Snowman. And so we will see you in just a minute over on set number 2.
If you can color, if you can paint by number, you can do punch needle. The very first lesson, always color inside the lines, like you were doing a coloring book. Another tip is to always keep your yarn nice and loose. Look what happens on the back.
Oh, that.
If you punch from the front, it's going to create loops on the back.
Okay.
If I were wanting the loops on the front side, I'm going to punch from the back. Now, when you punch, you want to punch all the way to the base of the handle. Then your stitches truly are going to lay nice and flat, right? This little scooped edge, right? Think about that like a spoon. And the tip of your needle is always pointing in the direction that you're going.
So much fun. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed myself doing this.
What was that guy's name? Dilbert? You know, that always has his nose
yes.
like right over.
I was like going,
how I feel.
you can hardly see you.
Yes,
You're hiding
it's
behind.
so fun. So this is our project today, and it is the Let It Snow floor canvas, and I'm so excited about
cute.
this new product that we're
Yeah.
carrying just a little
Yeah.
bit. So we decided that we were going to just kind of walk this through. We sold it on Black Friday. We also sold it last night on Comment Sold. We have a few available that are still on our website. And so a lot of you have this coming, and so we hope that this will be beneficial today
that
because
over.
these are called floor canvases.
Yes.
And they are actually made out of a canvas that is meant to put this on the
put
floor
outside.
like a rug.
Well,
and
and
it can
it's
be
weathered.
outside or
Right,
inside.
right.
And so I'm so excited to put this together today because it's just absolutely darling.
Yeah, it is. It's
So-
really cute. I love the colors too.
Yes.
It's so bright and it's cheery.
Right.
And you can leave it up all winter long
Right.
too, which is really fun.
Right. One
So-
of the fun thing about decorating with snowmen, and I did do snowman
Yes.
decor this year, so that
Yeah.
I am not in such a hurry to take it down.
Yeah.
So we have our kit here, and I just want you guys to take a look at this kit because this could not be easier. Shout out to the kit team and also to
Yes.
Jacob for laser cutting all of your pieces,
Yes.
because when you get this kit, everything is cut out exactly, and your fusible backing is already on the back. So
Yeah,
you just
which is
have to
really
get
good.
started. So
It will work up really fast.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna pull this out and show you that you get all of his scarf circles on here, and his eyes, his buttons, his nose.
Can you imagine trying to
Put
trace
all of this on canvas.
To trace all of those and make those circles perfect?
I have done something like that before, and so yes, I can imagine, because it is hard, because look how perfect they
Yeah,
are.
I said they're so-
Absolutely precise and absolutely ready to go. This is such a great deal.
Yes.
So I can't even. And if you didn't want to put this on the floor, because the thought of maybe somebody's muddy feet on this kind of cringes me just a little bit.
Yeah.
You could use this as a table runner, or in your house someplace that doesn't get a lot of
Yeah.
traffic, or on the wall, but it just is so nice, has this canvas. So you get your front, your back, your binding is even cut
Yes.
to it, and then you also get
All
your
your
snowman pieces. So we just want to show you how fun this comes together, and then we're going to show you a little bit of finishing
Yes,
techniques
on how to-
here.
yep.
So the first one, and let's just do his face really, because this works just, we've all used Heat and Bond. Kimberbell has a brand new double-sided bondable stabilizer out right now. So
But you don't have to worry about this because this is already
right, it's already on
in your
there.
kit.
But you just simply decide where you want to place it. And I have to show you on the pattern. So your pattern is actually emailed to you, because look at this pattern.
There's
a
a lot.
lot of paste.
A lot of-
Yeah. And if you wanted to do it again, it actually comes with the outline on here. But one of the fun things about this pattern is it gives you 2 ways to put this together. So the first one is like a 1 through 11 grid this way, so that you know where to place things and how to cut it. But check this out. This is a grid that is actually in 1-inch increments.
Oh,
So
that's-
if you were as precise as I know you are, Jackie, then you could put this however you wanted to do. But let's just work on his face just a little bit. We have our iron going, because never are we going to give up an opportunity to use
Yeah,
that iron.
that's
but
true.
We're just going to peel. Let's just put his eyes on here. So we're just going to peel this on here, and we're going to decide where to put his eyes.
That's what's really kind of fun.
Is
that
you can do it however you want.
Yes, that's what I love about this is
You don't want, maybe you want his arm
Yeah.
given a big old howdy do. I kind of like snowman eyes close
That are close.
together.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't like them spread apart. So I'm just going to decide how to do this, and let's just put his nose on here, and then we're just going to show you how fast and easy it is. You just put those on, position this right here. I'm gonna
cute.
hand this off to you.
All right. And you're happy with where it is?
I'm happy with where it
Okay.
is, because once it's on there, it's on there. It's not coming back
I'm
off.
gonna be careful,
We're going to
'cause-
send this over to Jackie, and she is just going to press, not iron.
Okay, so make sure you come and look at this because this is yours.
Yes.
You're happy with
Yes.
the way,
Yep, I'm happy.
okay. Because I would feel terrible if I was in charge of doing somebody's and I did it wrong.
Okay, so she's just simply going to take her iron and press for about 8 seconds on there. And it just fuses that right on there. It could not be easier. This project is going to come together so fast. So,
Boy, that was a lot of pressure, Allison.
was that a lot of pressure? Just wait till I tell you, you have to sew.
Oh, I'm not sewing on
I'm
yours.
just teasing.
I'm like, no, I won't be sewing on
Okay,
yours.
so already your face is together and ready to go. So the other thing we wanted to show you is once you get that on, then you want to put some type of stitching
Right.
around the edge of this so that with wear and tear it doesn't come off. So we have two different ways that we thought you could do it. One is called Doodle applique.
Yes.
And Jackie will walk you through that. The other, I'm not a big fan of Doodle applique. So you can simply do a blanket stitch around that. So take it away, Jackie.
All right. All right. Well, I just have a sample of just some circles of what we're going to do. So to set up your machine, I actually am going to drop my feed dogs on my machine because I'm basically going to be doing free motion quilting.
Okay.
All right. It tells you to put your open toe foot on your machine, but I actually am just going to use my regular embroidery type foot. It's an open. It's the foot number N.
Okay.
So on my machine, there's a little button up in the upper right-hand corner that looks like kind of a free motion. I'm going to just push that little button, and that's all I have to do to set up my machine. Now, some of you might have machines to drop your feed dogs. There's a switch on the back side of your sewing machine. It might be on the side of your sewing machine. So depending on what type of machine you have, you just want to drop your feed dogs. Most machines do that, so you're able to use any of them. So I've just used my regular end foot, and I put black thread on here. You can use whatever thread that you prefer. I like the black because it just kind of makes it pop.
It's a little whimsical, and you can see it. I mean, the whole point of this is not to be perfect.
Right, right. And this is the whole thing with this Doodle applique on the machine. It is not perfect. So if you're a perfectionist and you have to have everything just perfect, this may not be the option for you. But I just have it set at a regular straight stitch. I've got my width at 2.5. I have my length at 2.5. Now you can change that however you want to, because I really like to be able to see my stitching. So all you have to do, I've dropped my feed dogs. I have, it's good to put whatever thread you have on top. You should also do it in the bobbin.
And we're using a 30 weight
yes, we're using a
embroidery
30
thread.
weight, and it works out really nice. So what you're going to do is now, this is the scary part. So if you're really, for some,
me.
for some, but I would suggest that you practice before you actually do something, just so that you can get the feel of it. We're not quilting, and so our stitch regulation doesn't really matter that much. Right. And I'm gonna go like 3 or 4 times around in this circle. So I'm gonna drop my presser foot, and I'm actually not going to use my foot pedal on this. So I took my foot pedal out, and I'm just going to use my start-stop button on my machine, because that's going to keep the needle going.
Okay.
All right.
And the reason we drop the feed dogs is so everything slides,
so
right?
I have total control of the project.
Okay.
It won't go anywhere unless I move it. Okay. So I'll kind of show you a little bit. I'm going to just start at the end, and I've selected my speed on my machine, just kind of at a middle. If you can. I would go slow and then work your way up if you feel comfortable and confident about doing that. So I've got my feed dog, my presser foot down. I'm just going to push my start-stop button.
I'm so scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm so scared.
So another thing that
I would ask you to hold my hand, but you need both hands.
Yes, you could use gloves.
Okay.
You know, to kind of
Give it
hold
grip.
to hold it onto your machine. But you know what? This is Doodle. What do we do when we doodle? We just go for it. It's a free thing. So I'm going to start my machine, and you'll watch how I do it. Okay, it's just going to get going. I'm in total control, and I'm just letting it. Look, I'm even doing it with one hand.
Look at her showing off. One hand, folks.
Look. Okay, now I'm going to go again, and I'm going to kind of weave in and out a little bit, because I want it kind of a fun little whimsical look. And you can kind of see I'm not going in the same direction. I'm going to go around a 3rd time, because I want to be able to see my stitching. Isn't that cool?
That's so cute.
It's so fun, and
I have to say, if done right, it does look very good. And maybe I don't like it because I'm afraid of it.
Well, I said it really isn't that hard. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to actually tack it in place, and then I will cut.
Oh, so cute.
So look how cute that is. And that really, where is it? Can I show them how? It's not perfect at all.
No, so it just is like if you were doodling.
Yes.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
and it just holds that down. So look how nice those edges are. But if they did come up just a little bit, then you've got those tacked
Well,
down.
you could even do, here's
Do it
another idea. You can actually, instead of going just a straight line, you could try and do a zigzag-ish. Okay, I'm going to start, and let's say I don't want,
Oh,
can you
look how
see what
cute
I'm
that
doing?
is, yeah.
So I'm just kind of playing with this and deciding, I'm just kind of deciding as I'm going. It just gives it a totally different look. You can go really smooth.
So if you
can
wanted
do,
to doodle, like say on the carrot nose and make some of those lines that are in carrots, absolutely.
Yes, you could totally do this. This is kind of, it's kind of like thread painting as well. You just kind of, but see, I'm just kind of just going, I'm doing my own thing here.
So cute.
But it's just not even. See, and I'll show you how you could even be really whimsical and do it completely different too.
So look how fun that is
See?
on that edge. Yes,
and
so
you could
cute.
just play and you could have a lot of fun with that.
Absolutely.
So
okay, say you hate this.
Yes, this is something that you do not want to do at all, then you can choose a blanket stitch. And I'm going to actually use my presser foot for this one. So I'm going to take this off free motion because I need to have my feed dogs. I'm going to go into my quilting and I'm going to find a blanket stitch that I like. It looks like there are a couple of them here. I'm going to actually use Q12 because I want, and then I can change my width to make it a little wider. You can go up as wide as you want to. Now here's another thing. You want to make sure that you get it the way you want to.
Right.
So you practice,
Yep.
practice, and then once you get it perfect, I would write it down.
Okay.
Your settings.
Right.
Because
You
if
will
you
always
had
forget,
to,
or take a picture with your phone.
If you had to go and answer a telephone call, or if you had to do something,
Or turn the machine turned off. So
to come back.
Kathleen wants to know what those settings are again. So we are on the Baby Lock Altair.
Yes.
We're on the quilting settings. So the
Yes.
Q setting,
It's
quilting 12.
Q12, and I've actually, my stitch width is 7.0 and my stitch length is 2.0. So that's what I have for this. So then all you have to do is you'll put your presser foot, and that's why I like this open toe foot. I always start with my needle down in the, and I want to go slow because you're on a curved surface.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going fast, because I'm going to put my presser foot so it automatically lifts. So then I don't have to sit and go back behind here and lift it all of the time.
Another
when you're
thing that
working.
Cindy taught me to do, and I think of this every time I blanket stitch, is learn to count your blanket stitch, because
Yeah.
then you know where to start and to
Right.
end. So you're like down 1, 2, up 1, 2,
It's a dance.
down. Yeah, I mean,
It's a dance.
it really is
Pretty
a dance.
much.
So,
Yeah.
so I love that. I think of her all the time when I'm like counting with my blanket stitch.
I know, this is really fun. Okay, so now I'm going to just leave my needle right along. It's going to go over. I'm going to count 1, 2, over. Okay, now I'm
back.
going to stop, and I'm going to ever so slightly move my fabric over. And maybe this time I only have one, because I want that needle to go right along that edge.
Diane says she always takes a picture because if she wrote it down, she'd forget where she wrote it. And
You know
Jenny
what?
is exactly
That's so
right,
true.
because she's like, it seems like a zigzag would be a great option
A
for this.
zigzag
Absolutely,
would
a
be-
zigzag would
well,
be
however-
perfect.
however you
Even
wanna
a
do this.
straight stitch, if you want to just do a straight stitch, you just want to tack down those edges.
Yes, I mean, you can do it however you want to, but it's kind of fun to do, find something different. So I'm going to just ever so slightly move because I'm on a curved surface. And then this one takes, I think this takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
So be patient.
We're not going to do all of it.
Make sure that you don't move your fabric when the needle is up at the top,
Right.
because then you'll run into the problem we're having the thread split.
Right.
So always when you're moving your fabric, you want your needle to position to be at the very end. So you can just count. I'm going pretty slow. Let's see if I can go a little faster here so we can, oh, I've got it on. Let me turn this up. Okay, here we go.
Here she goes. She's speeding her up. Dun, 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 dun. Down 1, 2, up 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, up 1, 2, 1, 2.
Maybe my foot pedal is on something because it's not going very fast. I think it's, here we go. It's hard to sit up so high and sew. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to stop at the just halfway so that you can get a good idea of what it looks like. Okay, because it's okay, so that you can kind of see that one was up as
It's a blanket
so you can
stitch here.
actually see
and
it.
You could do that with black, or you could even
Yes.
match your thread color
Yes, you could.
to whatever you're doing
For
and
sure.
make it a little bit more
Yeah.
subtle.
So I like being able to see the blanket stitch.
Yep.
If it was so tiny, then you wouldn't be able to see it.
Right.
Now I could also change my stitch length so there will be more of a
Bigger
space
space
in
in between.
between. That's why it's really important to do one and practice and find the one that you like the most.
All
And
right.
then-
So if this were a square and we came to the end of the square, what you want to do is that's where your counting comes in. You would want to make sure you get down, and then here, now you know you have 1, 2. So then you would turn, so then you have 1, 2, and then you start
So your
again.
corner is kind of comes at a peak.
Yes.
When you're doing a square, when you're doing those there.
Yep.
So those are just a couple ideas that you can do.
I think that's so fun.
In fact, I think on our sample it was just done with a doodle.
Yep, just done with the Doodle
With
applique.
the Doodle applique as well.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh.
I'm like, I forgot. I'm going to pull the sample and lay it here. You'll just see, a portion of it. Chris actually did the sample on here, and she just did a Doodle applique,
She
and
did.
you can see that she just went around twice on, and sometimes 3 times.
Sometimes.
Let me move this up so that you can see, just sometimes 3 times on here. And then she went around all the edges. Then once that was done, clear blue tiles would be great.
Yes,
It
can-
simply has batting in between.
Yes.
And so you just quilt sandwich, or you could send it to your long armor. I mean, however you want to finish this
Yeah.
is absolutely darling. And then your binding's already cut. And putting the binding on, because it is a little bit thick here, so putting the binding on, it works better if you machine bind it
I definitely,
rather than hand bind
I would
it.
definitely do it with the machine, and I would decrease your stitch length.
Right.
As well. So
Right.
when you're putting that on, so fun, and it works up so quick and easy.
And this is just
It's so
adorable.
cute.
And can you imagine people coming, being greeted by
Yeah.
Sneezy the Snowman right
I
here,
know.
and you telling them, you know what, I made that myself.
Yes.
Feel free to stand on him.
Well, we have some cute pictures
Yes.
actually that we want to show you of where Chris put this in her house. She has some really cute ideas of where she put it. Look, she put it under her tree, which I thought was darling, and then by her back door. So she put it in her house.
Yes.
There's the picture of the one with the holly, which is darling.
Just under an
some
entry
different-
table,
yeah.
and then just in her kitchen.
Just some different ways that you can put that on.
And the size on this is 33 by 51.
Yes. So it's a really good size.
Yes.
So you'll.
If you had a big farmhouse table, this would be fun, just
really
in the
cute.
middle of the table
Yeah.
as well. And we are going to take a small break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how you care for this.
Okay.
Because if people are going to stand on it, we want to care for it the right way.
All righty.
This is the mug hug. They can go around a bowl, they can go around your tumblers. You can make this block, these little 1-inch finished or 3.5-inch. This ruler, It gives you the measurements that you need for a strip, the measurements that you need for a block. We're gonna just trace this right here, okay? We're gonna do that 4 times. Cut a 1.5 inch strip. I do not have to measure this perfect. There's plenty of room. Either all your points are gonna go up the first time or down the first time. I have about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to sew that line on. Just gonna put a pin right in the spot. On this line, all the way down. Sewn right down this line. You're just gonna iron that over. We're just gonna cut these back out. Do you see this?
Yeah.
We take our next strip, our points up, and we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Lay this out. Look how cute that is. This is what it looks like. And you just put a button on here. All right, we're going to talk about how to care for this because it is a canvas. We are suggesting you throw it on the floor. But before we do, we have just a couple of questions we want to talk about. So, Shelley, you ask when you're doing the binding what Jackie adjusts her stitch length to.
I would adjust it to at least a 2.0. Or you could even go, it depends on your machine, but 2.0 is a pretty good one. It's a little bit smaller. So
just so it holds it tight and won't pull out.
Yes,
because you are going to wash this at times.
And it will take a little bit more time than a normal binding because you are going at a smaller stitch length.
Right. The instructions also suggest that when you're doing that, you use a needle that you would, like a Levi needle, the 90.
A little heavier because you're going to go through.
You're going to go in 90 because it's a little bit thicker and you're going through some canvas and also your batting.
Yes.
All right. So this is 100% cotton. It just goes in the washer, and they suggest you wash it on gentle cycle, warm, and then throw it in the dryer just enough to get the wrinkles out. And then once they come out, spread it out and just let it air dry until it is dry. And then you can just use it again and again and again, over and over and over again. So it is completely washable. If you were gonna put this outside, I have a suggestion. And I just went and picked up some Scotch Guard, just a fabric water shield, just so that it's not getting soaking wet. And I'm not going to spray it in here. I told Abby I wouldn't spray it in our studio. But just a fabric water shield, and I picked up Scotch Guard. There's a lot of different brands. It's just a long-lasting protection.
It just seals it a little bit, which makes it nice.
Which is not necessary.
No.
Because like I said, it could get wet and it could just air dry, but that's just my suggestion. If it's going to be in the house, I wouldn't Scotch Guard it.
Don't you think it would preserve it, I think. And especially with its bright colors and stuff. You don't want the sun to take the dye and stuff out.
Right. So we used a 100% cotton batting.
It was an 80-20.
Okay, in this one.
Yeah.
So it's not specific to I would just use cheap batting. You're going to put this on the floor and love it and use it. So just an 80-20, and we used the crib size.
Yes.
Is the size
it's
batting,
a perfect one.
Which was perfect. For there.
Yeah. So it's really it works great.
Do we have any other questions?
Let's see, Roxana asked something about, what side I stopped. Okay, when I'm doing a blanket stitch, my needle is on the raw edge, just before it takes the bite into your project. So it's on the outside.
Pull this over.
Let me kind of show you where that is.
So we can show you. So let me get this here. So she would stop right here at this point. Can you see where my finger is right?
Yeah, on the outside of the circle.
On the outside of the circle before it comes in and takes that.
Yeah, it takes the bite.
And yes, Diane, you can still wash it when you Scotch Guard it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's
All
awesome.
right.
Okay.
Okay, well,
that's
I
fun.
just want everyone to have a really great weekend. I hope that you all have fun holiday parties to go to. We have enjoyed our holiday picture book week this week. Be sure to join us next week because I am really excited for next week.
Yeah.
We have a fun show.
Yes, we do.
Still celebrating the holidays here, and we will see you next week.
Okay, take care.